Every year, infectious diseases kill millions of people. Some attack your brain. Some drown your lungs. Some slowly shut down every organ in your body. Today, you're about to experience what happens inside the human body during some of the deadliest infections ever known. Imagine you're walking home one evening when a stray dog suddenly lunges forward and bites your arm. You wash the wound. The bleeding stops. Within a week, the injury is almost invisible. Life goes on. You forget it ever happened. But the virus hasn't forgotten you. For the next several weeks, rabies quietly travels through your nerves, moving toward your brain. Not through your blood, not where doctors can easily detect it. Through your nervous system itself, completely unnoticed. Then, one morning, something feels different. A strange tingling appears exactly where you were bitten. You develop a mild fever. You feel anxious for no obvious reason. What seems like a minor illness is actually your last warning. Because by the time these symptoms appear, the virus has already reached your brain. And now the real damage begins. The virus starts attacking regions responsible for emotion, behavior, swallowing, and breathing. Soon, even a sip of water becomes impossible. The muscles in your throat suddenly spasm. Not because you're afraid, but because the infection has rewired your brain's normal reflexes. Doctors call this hydrophobia. As the disease progresses, even a small gust of air can trigger violent muscle contractions. Your own saliva becomes impossible to swallow. It collects in your mouth while the virus multiplies inside your salivary glands, preparing itself to spread to another host. Days later, paralysis begins. First the legs, then the arms, then the muscles responsible for breathing. Eventually, your body shuts down completely. Once symptoms begin, survival is extraordinarily rare. But rabies has one weakness. If treatment begins immediately after exposure, vaccines can stop the virus before it reaches the nervous system. A decision made on the day of the bite can mean the difference between life and death. Rabies attacks the brain. But the next disease attacks something even more important: your blood itself. Imagine you're working at a busy clinic during an outbreak. It's been a long week. You're tired, but nothing unusual. Then one morning, you wake with a headache. Your muscles ache. You feel exhausted. It seems like the flu, maybe stress, maybe dehydration. You take some medicine and try to push through the day. But hidden inside your body, something far more dangerous has already begun. For nearly a week, the Ebola virus has been multiplying in silence. At first, it targets cells that normally help coordinate your immune system. These cells are supposed to detect threats and alert the rest of the body. Instead, the virus turns them into factories that produce more virus. Millions become billions. Billions become trillions. And all of it happens before you even realize you're seriously ill. Over the next few days, the fever gets worse. Your head pounds. Every joint feels like it's on fire. Standing up becomes exhausting. Your body knows something is terribly wrong, but it still doesn't understand what it's fighting. Then the virus begins attacking the lining of your blood vessels. Normally, these vessel walls act like watertight pipes, keeping blood exactly where it belongs. Ebola starts damaging that protective barrier. Tiny gaps begin forming throughout your circulatory system. Fluid slowly starts leaking into surrounding tissues. At the same time, your immune system launches a massive counterattack. But Ebola has another trick. It causes immune cells to release enormous amounts of chemical alarm signals, far more than necessary. Doctors call this a cytokine storm. Instead of helping, these signals create chaos. Blood vessels become wider and leakier. Inflammation spreads throughout the entire body. Your own immune response starts contributing to the damage. Then comes the vomiting, again and again and again. Soon, severe diarrhea follows. Your body begins losing liters of fluid every single day, more than you can replace. No matter how much you drink, dehydration keeps winning. Your blood pressure falls. Your kidneys struggle to filter waste. Your liver begins to fail. The organs responsible for keeping you alive are now running out of the resources they need to function. As the infection spreads, clotting systems stop working properly. Some patients begin bleeding from the gums. Others bleed internally. Every system inside the body is starting to break down at once. By now, even breathing feels exhausting. Your heart is working harder than ever, trying to maintain circulation with less and less fluid available. Eventually, it becomes too much. The combination of organ failure, severe dehydration, blood loss, and overwhelming inflammation pushes the body beyond its limits. For many patients, the illness reaches its most dangerous stage between 1 and 2 weeks after symptoms first appear. But even survival doesn't always mean recovery. Many survivors continue to experience joint pain, muscle aches, fatigue, headaches, and vision problems long after the virus is gone. Because while Ebola may leave the body, the damage it causes can remain for years. Today, supportive medical care, rapid diagnosis, isolation procedures, and vaccines have dramatically improved survival rates. But Ebola remains one of the most feared viral diseases ever discovered. Not because it kills instantly, but because it turns the body's own defenses into part of the battlefield. Ebola attacks the bloodstream. The next disease begins with something much smaller. A flea bite so tiny you might never notice it happened. Yet it helped create one of the deadliest pandemics in human history, the Black Death. Imagine you're living in Europe in the year 1348. The streets are crowded, markets are full. Ships arrive every day carrying silk, spices, and goods from distant lands. Life feels normal. Then one morning, you wake up feeling strangely tired. Your head aches. Your body feels hot. You assume it's a common fever. Maybe you'll feel better tomorrow. But by evening, you notice something unusual. A painful lump has appeared beneath your arm. It's swollen, tender, hot to the touch, and every hour it seems to grow larger. What you don't know is that days earlier, a flea feeding on an infected rat bit you without you ever noticing. That single bite introduced a bacterium called Yersinia pestis into your body. At first, your immune system responded exactly as it should. Defender cells rushed to the scene. They swallowed the invading bacteria. The threat should have ended there. But this bacterium came prepared. Instead of being destroyed, it survives inside those very cells. It uses them as hiding places, as transportation, as protection. While your immune system believes it's winning, the bacteria are quietly spreading deeper into your body. Eventually, they reach your lymph nodes. Think of these as security checkpoints scattered throughout your body. Their job is to trap dangerous invaders before they can spread. But this time, the invader arrives already entrenched. The bacteria begin multiplying faster than the lymph node can contain them. The node swells dramatically. The painful lump under your arm grows larger and larger. Doctors would later call these swellings buboes, and they became the disease's most recognizable sign. Your fever rises. Your heart races. The pain becomes unbearable. Simply moving your arm feels like torture. But the real danger is only beginning. Because if the bacteria break free from the lymph node, they enter your bloodstream. And once they do, the entire body becomes a battlefield. The bacteria release powerful toxins. Your immune system responds with overwhelming force. Blood begins clotting inside tiny vessels throughout your body. At the same time, damaged vessels start leaking. The result is chaos. Some tissues receive too little blood. Others begin bleeding. Your fingers darken. Your toes darken. The tip of your nose begins turning black. The skin is literally dying while you're still alive. This horrifying symptom gave rise to the name that history would never forget: the Black Death. As circulation fails, organs begin shutting down. Your kidneys struggle, your lungs weaken, your heart works harder and harder to compensate. Without treatment, death often follows within days of the first symptoms. And in the 14th century, treatment didn't exist. Entire families vanished. Entire villages disappeared. Cities watched thousands die within weeks. By the time the pandemic ended, historians estimate that tens of millions of people across Europe, Asia, and North Africa had died. It was one of the deadliest pandemics in human history. Today, the story is different. Modern antibiotics can usually stop bubonic plague if treatment begins early, but the bacteria still exist. They survive in wild rodent populations around the world, waiting. The Black Death never truly disappeared. Humanity simply learned how to fight it. The Black Death spread through fleas. The next killer didn't need insects. It didn't need animals. It didn't even need direct contact. All it needed was a single glass of contaminated water. And within hours, a perfectly healthy person could be fighting for their life. This is cholera. Imagine you're living in a crowded city during the summer. The day starts like any other. You wake up, eat breakfast, drink a glass of water from the local well. Everything seems normal. The water looks clean, it tastes normal, nothing seems suspicious. But hidden inside that drink are millions of microscopic bacteria called Vibrio cholerae. And within hours, they begin colonizing your intestines. At first, you feel a slight discomfort in your stomach. Nothing alarming. Maybe something you ate. Maybe a minor stomach bug. Then suddenly, you need to rush to the bathroom. An hour later, you're back again. Then again. And again. Each trip is worse than the last. Soon, your body begins producing an extraordinary amount of watery diarrhea. Not blood, not mucus, just a pale, cloudy liquid doctors describe as rice water stool. And it doesn't stop. What makes cholera so terrifying is that the bacteria aren't actually destroying your intestines. They're doing something much smarter. They release a powerful toxin. That toxin hijacks the cells lining your gut. Normally, these cells carefully regulate how much water and salt enter and leave your body. But cholera forces those cells into overdrive. The switches get stuck. The pumps stay on. And suddenly, your intestines become a fire hose pointed in the wrong direction. Water pours out. Salt pours out. Minerals pour out. Hour after hour. Your body is literally draining itself. By nightfall, you've lost liters of fluid, more than most people can imagine. Your mouth becomes painfully dry. Your tongue sticks to the roof of your mouth. No matter how much water you drink, it never feels like enough, because you're losing it faster than you can replace it. Soon, painful muscle cramps begin. Your legs seize, your hands tighten, your stomach twists in agony. The minerals your muscles need to function are disappearing from your bloodstream. Then your appearance starts to change. Your eyes sink deeper into their sockets. Your cheeks become hollow. Your skin loses its normal color. People begin to recognize the signs immediately. Not because of a laboratory test, because they've seen it before. And they know what often comes next. Your heart starts racing, faster, faster, trying desperately to maintain blood flow with less and less fluid available. But eventually, there isn't enough volume left. Blood pressure drops. Your kidneys stop filtering waste. Your organs begin shutting down one by one. The frightening part is how quickly it can happen. A person can wake up feeling healthy in the morning and be critically ill by nightfall. In severe, untreated cases, death can occur within a single day. But cholera also tells one of the most remarkable stories in medicine, because despite being one of history's deadliest diseases, its treatment is surprisingly simple. A carefully balanced mixture of clean water, sugar, and salt. That's it. This solution helps the body absorb fluids faster than it loses them. And when given early, it can reduce mortality from over 50% to less than 1%. A treatment that costs only a few cents can mean the difference between life and death. Yet for millions of people living in areas affected by war, poverty, disasters, or limited access to clean water, even this simple treatment isn't always available. And that's why cholera continues to claim lives today. Not because we don't know how to stop it, but because not everyone has access to the tools needed to survive it. Cholera kills through dehydration. The next disease takes a completely different approach. Instead of draining your body in hours, it hides inside you for weeks. It uses your own immune system as transportation. And by the time the fever appears, the invasion is already everywhere. This is typhoid fever. Imagine you're a soldier stationed at a crowded military camp. The food is basic. The water isn't always clean. But you've survived worse. One evening, you notice a mild fever. Nothing serious. Maybe exhaustion. Maybe a cold. You drink some water and head to bed. The next morning, the fever is still there. A little higher. The day after that, higher again. And unlike most illnesses, it never seems to come back down. Day after day, the temperature keeps climbing, slowly, relentlessly. What you don't know is that a bacterium called Salmonella typhi entered your body through contaminated food or water weeks ago. Most bacteria never survive the acidic environment of the stomach. This one does. It slips through the stomach and reaches your small intestine alive. Then it encounters the cells of your immune system. Normally, this would be the end of the infection. Defender cells surround the bacteria and swallow them whole. Mission accomplished. Except this bacterium has a different plan. Instead of dying, it survives inside the very cells meant to destroy it. Hidden from the rest of the immune system. Protected, invisible. And then it does something even more dangerous. It turns those immune cells into transportation. Like a passenger riding inside a taxi. The infected cells travel through your body, to your liver, your spleen, your bone marrow, carrying the bacteria with them. For weeks, the invasion spreads quietly. No dramatic symptoms, no obvious warning signs. Just an enemy building an army deep inside your organs. Then the dam finally breaks. The infected cells can no longer contain the growing bacterial population. They burst open. Millions of bacteria flood into your bloodstream all at once. Your immune system finally realizes the scale of the invasion and immediately sounds every alarm it has. The fever skyrockets. Your body aches. Your energy disappears. Even sitting upright feels exhausting. By the second week, your stomach begins to hurt. Eating becomes difficult. Nausea becomes constant. Inside your intestines, the bacteria have been causing damage for days. Small ulcers begin forming along the intestinal wall. Open wounds hidden deep inside your digestive system. Soon, diarrhea develops, sometimes severe, sometimes mixed with blood. Every day leaves you weaker than the last. But the most frightening stage often arrives during the third week. The fever has been raging almost non-stop. Your brain has been exposed to high temperatures for days. And now, your thoughts begin to change. You struggle to concentrate. Conversations become confusing. Reality feels distant. You stare blankly at walls, respond slowly when people speak. Sometimes you begin seeing things that aren't there. Doctors once described patients as drifting into a state between consciousness and delirium, half awake, half lost. And this is often when typhoid becomes deadly. One of those ulcers can eat completely through the intestinal wall. Suddenly, bacteria and intestinal contents begin leaking into the abdominal cavity, a medical emergency that can quickly become fatal. Or your body simply runs out of strength after weeks of fighting a battle it cannot win. Today, millions of people still contract typhoid fever every year. Modern antibiotics have saved countless lives, but the bacteria are adapting. Some strains have developed resistance to multiple antibiotics, making treatment increasingly difficult. And in many parts of the world, access to clean water and sanitation remains limited, which means the disease continues to spread. Not because humanity doesn't understand it, but because preventing it requires something many people still don't have: safe food, safe water, and access to healthcare. Typhoid hides inside immune cells. The next disease doesn't hide at all. It launches a slow attack that can take years. For nearly a decade, you may not even realize it's happening. But during that time, your body's defenses are disappearing one by one, until eventually, even the most harmless infection becomes deadly. This is HIV/AIDS. Imagine you're 23 years old. You have a job, friends, plans for the future. Life feels normal. One day, you catch what seems like a minor infection, a lingering cough, a fever that comes and goes. Nothing serious enough to worry about. You recover and move on. But hidden deep inside your body, a virus has already begun its work. A virus called HIV. And unlike most infections, HIV doesn't attack your lungs, or your stomach, or your skin. It attacks your immune system itself, the very thing designed to protect you. Think of your immune system as an army. Most infections fight the soldiers. HIV goes after the generals. Special immune cells called CD4 T cells. These cells coordinate the body's defenses. They identify threats, call for reinforcements, direct the attack. Without them, the immune system becomes disorganized and ineffective. The moment HIV finds one of these cells, it forces its way inside. Then it does something few viruses can do. It rewrites the cell's genetic instructions, turning it into a factory that produces more HIV. The infected cell eventually dies, but before it does, it creates thousands of new viruses, each one searching for another CD4 cell to infect, and another, and another. For the first few weeks, you might feel sick, a fever, swollen lymph nodes, fatigue. Then the symptoms disappear. You assume you're healthy again, but the virus never leaves. For years, it continues its attack in silence. Every day, a few more immune cells are destroyed. Every year, your defenses become a little weaker. Yet outwardly, life appears normal. You work, travel, celebrate birthdays, make plans, completely unaware that a war is being fought inside your body. Then, years later, small problems start appearing. You lose weight without trying. You feel tired all the time. Simple infections seem harder to shake. Cuts take longer to heal. The cough returns. This time, it doesn't leave. Because by now, your immune system is running out of generals. And once enough of them are gone, the body becomes vulnerable to infections that a healthy person would barely notice. A fungus that normally lives harmlessly around us suddenly fills your lungs. Breathing becomes difficult. Every breath feels like inhaling through a wet sponge. Then another infection reaches your eyes. Your vision becomes blurry. Dark spots appear. The world around you slowly fades. Another infection attacks your brain. Headaches begin. Confusion follows. Memories become harder to hold on to. Sometimes you forget where you are. Sometimes you forget who you're talking to. Your body can no longer defend itself. Not because these infections are unusually powerful, but because the system meant to stop them has been dismantled, one piece at a time. This advanced stage is known as AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. It's not a single disease. It's the point where HIV has weakened the immune system so severely that countless other diseases can take advantage. Before effective treatments existed, this diagnosis was often a death sentence. Hospitals filled with patients suffering from infections rarely seen in healthy people. Entire communities were devastated. Millions of lives were lost. Then, in the mid-1990s, everything changed. Scientists developed combinations of medications capable of suppressing HIV, not curing it, but controlling it. These drugs stop the virus from multiplying, allowing the immune system to recover. Today, many people living with HIV can expect long, healthy lives if they receive proper treatment. But one challenge remains. The virus is incredibly good at hiding. It can remain dormant inside certain cells for years, invisible to both the immune system and modern medicine. Which is why, despite decades of research, there is still no complete cure. HIV taught humanity a painful lesson. Sometimes the most dangerous infections aren't the ones that kill quickly. Sometimes they're the ones that patiently dismantle your defenses until there's nothing left standing. HIV can take years to become deadly. The next disease doesn't give you years. It doesn't even give you weeks. It begins with something as ordinary as cleaning an old shed. A few particles of dust, a breath you don't even remember taking, and within days, your lungs begin filling with fluid. This is Hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. Imagine you've spent the weekend cleaning out an old cabin. Dust fills the air. You sweep the floor, move old boxes, clear out mouse droppings without thinking much about it. By the end of the day, you're tired, but otherwise fine. A week later, you wake up feeling sick. A fever, muscle aches, a pounding headache. Your back hurts, your legs hurt. Even getting out of bed feels exhausting. It feels exactly like the flu. Nothing unusual, nothing alarming. You take some medicine and decide to rest. What you don't know is that tiny particles carrying a hantavirus entered your lungs days ago. Invisible, odorless, carried by the air you breathed. Now, the virus is multiplying deep inside your body. For the first several days, everything seems manageable. The fever continues, your muscles ache, you feel miserable. But nothing suggests what is coming next. Then one morning, something changes. You wake up and take a deep breath. It doesn't feel right. The air goes in, but it doesn't feel like enough. You breathe again, harder this time. Still not enough. Within hours, breathing becomes difficult, then frightening, then nearly impossible. The reason lies deep inside your lungs. Your lungs contain millions of tiny air sacs. These delicate structures allow oxygen to pass into your blood while removing carbon dioxide. Normally, they're dry and efficient, perfectly designed for breathing. But hantavirus has been attacking the blood vessels surrounding them. Unlike many viruses, it doesn't simply destroy the vessels. Instead, it makes them leak. Imagine a garden hose developing thousands of microscopic holes. The water is still flowing, but now it's escaping everywhere. The same thing is happening inside your lungs. Fluid begins leaking from blood vessels into the surrounding tissues, then into the air sacs themselves. Little by little, your lungs begin filling with liquid. The space meant for oxygen is slowly being replaced by fluid. Each breath becomes less effective than the one before. Your body senses the oxygen shortage immediately. Your heart starts racing. Your breathing becomes rapid. You gasp for air. But no matter how hard you try, your lungs can't absorb enough oxygen. It's like trying to breathe underwater. Doctors sometimes describe patients as feeling as though they're drowning from the inside. And the worst part is how quickly it happens. One day, you're walking around with what seems like a bad flu. The next, you're fighting for every breath. As the fluid continues to build, oxygen levels plummet. Your organs begin receiving less and less oxygen. Your muscles weaken. Your mind becomes foggy. Simple tasks become impossible. Meanwhile, the virus has another target: your heart. Studies have found that Hantavirus can damage the heart muscle itself. So while your lungs struggle to bring oxygen into the body, your heart struggles to move blood through it. Both systems begin failing at the same time. A devastating combination. Doctors rush to provide oxygen, ventilators, intensive care, anything that might keep your body functioning long enough for your immune system to gain control. Because unlike many other diseases, there is no specific antiviral cure for Hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. No widely available vaccine, no miracle treatment. Supportive care is often the only option. And survival depends largely on how quickly the illness is recognized and treated. For those who survive, recovery can take months. The body eventually clears the virus, but the experience leaves a lasting mark. Because few diseases can transform a mild fever into life-threatening respiratory failure so quickly. Hantavirus doesn't need years like HIV, or weeks like typhoid. It waits quietly, then suddenly turns every breath into a struggle. Hantavirus attacks the lungs. The next disease attacks something even more fundamental: the connection between your brain and your muscles. It begins with a simple childhood infection, a sore throat, a mild fever, nothing that seems dangerous. Until one morning, you discover you can no longer swallow. This is Bulbar Polio. Imagine you're 6 years old in the summer of 1952. School is out. The streets are full of children. Swimming pools are crowded. Life feels normal. Then one evening, you come home feeling tired. Your throat hurts a little. You have a mild fever. Your legs ache. Your parents assume it's just another childhood illness. After all, children get sick all the time. You go to bed early. For the next couple of days, nothing seems especially unusual. The fever comes and goes. You feel weak, maybe a little sleepy. But then, on the third morning, something strange happens. You take a sip of juice, and it won't go down. You try again. Nothing. The muscles in your throat simply refuse to cooperate. Soon, speaking becomes difficult too. Your voice sounds weak, strained, almost trapped inside your own body. What nobody realizes yet is that the polio virus has already completed the most dangerous part of its journey. Days ago, it entered through your mouth. It multiplied inside your throat and intestines. Then it slipped into your bloodstream. And now it has reached your brainstem, the control center responsible for some of your most important automatic functions: swallowing, speaking, breathing. The virus begins destroying specialized nerve cells one by one. Unlike many other cells in the body, These nerve cells don't regenerate once they're gone. Every cell destroyed is a permanent loss. At first, the symptoms seem manageable: a weak voice, difficulty swallowing. But then, breathing becomes harder. Each breath requires more effort. Your chest feels heavier. Your lungs feel weaker. And here's what makes bulbar polio particularly terrifying. The virus damages the nerves that control movement, but it leaves your awareness completely intact. You can still think. You can still feel. You understand exactly what's happening. You know you're struggling to breathe. You know you're choking on your own saliva. You know your body is failing. And there is nothing you can do to stop it. Doctors in the 1950s often described patients as being fully conscious while slowly losing control of the muscles needed to stay alive. Many children watched nurses and doctors rush around them while they remained trapped inside bodies that no longer obeyed commands. As breathing muscles weaken further, oxygen levels begin to fall. Without intervention, the lungs can no longer move enough air to support life. This is where one of the most famous medical devices in history enters the story: the iron lung. A massive metal cylinder large enough to hold an entire person. The machine surrounded the body and used changing air pressure to force the chest to expand and contract. In other words, it breathed for you. Rows of these machines once filled hospital wards, the rhythmic sounds of mechanical breathing echoing day and night. For many patients, it was the only thing keeping them alive. Even with treatment, bulbar polio remained extraordinarily dangerous. Before modern intensive care, death rates were devastatingly high. Many children never made it home. Others survived but were left with permanent paralysis. Lives changed forever by a virus no one could see. Then, in 1955, everything changed. A vaccine developed by Jonas Salk became available. Within years, polio cases began collapsing around the world. Countries that once feared summer outbreaks saw the disease nearly disappear. Today, thanks to vaccination campaigns, polio has been eliminated from most of the world. Millions of children who would once have faced paralysis are protected. But the disease remains a powerful reminder of what infectious diseases can do when prevention doesn't exist. Because if poliovirus reaches the brainstem, modern medicine can support the body. It can help you breathe. It can keep you alive. But it still cannot restore the nerve cells that have already been destroyed. Polio taught humanity a terrifying lesson. Sometimes the deadliest diseases don't attack with overwhelming force. Sometimes they quietly take away the abilities we depend on most: to move, to speak, to breathe. Today, medicine has given us powerful tools to fight many of these diseases. But the greatest weapon against disease isn't fear, it's understanding. These were some of the deadliest diseases in human history, and this is what happens when they invade the human body. If you enjoyed this journey through medical science, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more fascinating science and microbiology content. Thanks for watching.